So they're not like openly pro-Russian, but they're more like pro-peace. So we call them pro-peacers.
If you have little information in the open space and public discussion, there's a big space for manipulation. It is a sensitive timing for us in Czechia because in 1 year time, 1 year and a bit, we do have crucial parliament elections in which Andrej Babiš and his other party might be picking up much more stronger rhetoric that he is an agro-baron himself. He is a type of oligarch with a very huge industrial complex, agri-industry complex behind him. All the high quality of Ukraine grains and agriculture products actually goes against his prime interest.
Hello and welcome to Ukraine in Flames, a special project by Ukraine Media Centre and NGO Euroland Course. And I'm your host, Matt Wickham. In this episode, we discuss Russian propaganda in the Czech Republic. If you want to learn more about this subject, please continue watching this video. And don't forget to press subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Lenka Struzinska, an independent researcher from the Czech Republic, delves into the complexities of Ukraine's EU integration and the disinformation challenges the Czech Republic faces. She highlights the Czech government's support for Ukraine's candidacy, the opposition's concerns, and the fragmented nature of the Czech Republic's disinformation scene, which affects public perception and political discourse. Let's take a listen.
The main points, I think, towards the Ukraine-EU integration is that the official stand of the Czech Republic is clear. It's very positive from not only from the government, but also from the president. But of course, there are some other opinions from the political opposition. What I found from the open information sources, there is a little fear that the fact that Ukraine got the candidacy so quickly might seem a little unfair towards the other countries which are trying to integrate to the EU, such as Serbia. Of course, the situation for Ukraine is very different, but those were the opinions. And there was also a discussion if the EU candidacy itself isn't having just a symbolic stand for the whole geopolitical situation. Regarding the disinformation or alternative scene within Czech Republic, this concrete theme, meaning the Ukraine integration to the EU, was not a topic as such. Ukraine as such is a topic mainly connected with the migration, the security, the increases of the prices of the energy and gas, etc. We have a quite interesting disinformation scene in this field since we have many individual actors who are constantly trying to kind of cooperate together and have this one voice, but obviously they never find a common topics, and they're all the time kind of arguing between each other. So that's the only positive side of our disinformation scene, because since they are not cooperating, they don't have such a power. And it also showed on the last elections to the European Parliament, because there were a lot of alternative parties candidating. The interesting was that also the Communist Party was cooperating with disinformatory actors and quite actually got seats into the European Parliament. Regarding the main themes of the alternative media or the disinformatory scene, as the Polish side said, we also have this theme of the Ukrainization, but it mainly tried to portray Ukraine as a corrupted state, as a state which needs to be denazified, and it kind of tries to undermine the support for Ukraine by the fear threats that if we're going to continue supporting Ukraine, it will escalate the conflict, and we will be brought up into this conflict. Regarding, I also wrote some points from my colleague from Polish side. I'm not aware that we would have strictly pro-Russian parties in the parliament. However, because I think the society is quite allergic for this pro-West or pro-Russian. So they're not like openly pro-Russian, but they're more like pro-peace. So we call them pro-peacers. And so they are saying that we are not for Russia, or we are not from USA or West. We just want peace. We think that that's the best solution. But obviously, then their actions are speaking a little different way. I would like to maybe put here a little topic for discussion. This is just my subjective opinion. However, when I look on the disinformation scene in Czech Republic, I often see this kind of almost like a identity crisis for a lot of those people. They are kind of, obviously they are supporting the disinformation scene, etc., because they want to be in some kind of community. They want to feel useful. But many times there are questions such as who we are, where do we belong? Do we necessarily need to belong on East or on West? Or can we just be on our own?
Pavel Havlíček, Research Fellow at the Association for International Affairs in the Czech Republic, analyses recent political developments in the Czech Republic and their implications for the EU and Ukraine. He also discusses the disinformation challenges related to Ukrainian agricultural products and political scandals. Let's take a listen in full.
We know that now Andrej Babiš's party of ANO, this association for dissatisfied citizens, is now much more broke, I would call it. They decided, for whichever reason, we are still trying to understand fully why they decided to actually break the circle, break the sort of connections with the Renew faction in the European Parliament, and now they are actually looking for their own better future somewhere else. The official pronouncement is that they should actually establish their own faction within the European Parliament. And the idea behind might be actually that they might align forces with Fidesz, which is also non-aligned and again quite rogue on Ukraine, especially of Hungary, of Orban Viktor, and then also, of course, the Prime Minister of Slovakia, Robert Fico, whose party of Smer, the direction we can say in English. It's also out of the political families, and they were expelled from the FND, the Socialists and Democrats faction in the European Parliament. So that is actually a point of concern, because this new constellation might be, while being all neighbors, possibly also with some input from Poland, might be actually getting much more critical towards European affairs, much more critical towards Ukraine as well, and actually joining forces. It is a sensitive timing for us in Czechia, because in 1 year time, 1 year and a bit, we do have crucial parliament elections in which Andrej Babiš and his ANO party might be actually picking up much more stronger rhetoric against Ukraine, against some of the traditional allies, and also against the EU, since it might be bringing some political points to him. So that is actually something that is to be seen. It's also open for conversation. It will be interesting to hear opinions of others, because that's a completely new development when it comes to the new faction that might be actually composed of at least the V3, possibly with Poland V4, of the 4 Visegrad countries, that two of those we are actually discussing here today. So that is definitely something to be highly watched. But if you let me just return back for a second, Volodymyr, also to some of the affairs that were mentioned by Lenka, because I would like to underscore a couple of those. We are here discussing enlargement and Ukrainian accession to the European Union that is in making, and we have seen some of the historic moments over the past period of time. But the problem here is actually that the Czech debate, public debate about the enlargement in general, enlargement policy of the European Union, is very little informed. There is very little actual information that we have about what we are doing vis-a-vis our partners and what we can be expecting, what kind of impact this might have actually on Czechia and on the Czech society. So that is something that actually is never good for healthy debate and informed debating within the society. So I think we are really at the beginning of this. And I know that the situation is actually similar in Poland, and that's why, and it makes me happy, and I will be very happy to present the results of our work to you soon, since we will be working with AMO and colleagues from Poland actually on an upcoming report on what are the positions of Czechia and Poland vis-a-vis enlargement, and especially we will be centering and focusing on the situation of Ukraine and Moldova, but of course also reflecting on the situation in Western Balkans. As Lenka mentioned, there is this kind of a competition for sure. So we will be very happy to stay connected to this debate and share some results that are upcoming after the summit from our side. So that is the first point that I wanted to highlight in terms of a little informed, less informed decision-making and public debating than there should be, which is a vulnerability for Ukraine, because if you have little information in the open space and public discussion, there is a big space for manipulation. That is unfortunately what we have seen in regards to corruption, as mentioned by Lenka, but also other affairs. And I want to highlight another issue in particular, and this was the issue that I didn't hear so much from Maciej. I would like to come back to this, and this is the issue of agriculture and integration of Ukraine in the European Union's policies, including the agriculture one, but also cohesion one, and some others. And here I see that this debate is very sensitive for us in Central Eastern Europe. You have some of the positions of the states, such as of Poland or Hungary, of Slovakia as well, that are very critical towards Ukraine. Czechia, I'm very proud and happy that we did not join this blockade of Ukraine agriculture products, but there is this kind of sensitivity, and there are disinformation narratives in place surrounding, for example, the grain from Ukraine that is actually of ill quality. And these are also articulated by Andrej Babiš when he famously organized one debate, one open intervention during the social media channels, when he actually had some on his table grain from Ukraine, and also a hen actually next to him, quite literally, very strange situation. And he said, he talked to the hen, and then he said, look, you even you don't eat this, you know. So he tried to use this and ridicule actually the imports from Ukraine, and in order to actually somehow downplay the quality and so on. Also because, and this is a specific situation to Czechia, that he is an agro baron himself. He is a type of oligarch with a very huge industrial complex, agri-industry complex behind him. And of course, all the high quality of Ukraine grains and agriculture products actually goes against this private interest. So this is actually what we are here discussing a lot about in the Czech case. So there is a space for disinformation, as I discussed. It's happening, and I think we really need to invest more in informed decision-making and public discussion in order to avert actually future debates and cases of manipulation of the Czech Republic, because this will be really of crucial importance in the coming years.
You've been watching the special project by Ukraine Media Center and NGO Realignment course dedicated to the Russian-Ukrainian war, Ukraine in Flames. In the description under this video, you can find more information about how you can help Ukraine fight Russian aggression. If you find our work useful, please like and share this video. Slava Ukraini!